First, would like to pay homage to the lineage gurus, homage to the Venerable Monk Liaoming, homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong, homage to the 16 Karmapa, and homage to Master Tupten Tarji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. And homage to the main deity of Homa today, Mahasriya. And also homage to the four guardian mothers and the Dakinis of the 8 directions and the Dakinis of the 20 heavens and the 5 longevity celestial maidens. Simu, Tuten Siddhi Rinpoche, all Dhamma masters, Dhamma educators, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma instructors, Dhamma assistants, temple directors, and all disciples present here and over the internet, and all participating VIPs today. From Academia Sinica, the academician Professor Zhu Siyi and Mrs. Zhu. And from the Zhongshan Medical College Affiliated Plastic Surgery Department, the head of the department, Dr. Zheng Senlong. And from Hong Kong Chinese University, Professor Tam. And True Buddha School medical groups and scholars group. And Law Advisor to Buddha Foundation, Dharma Sister Jennifer Zhou and Mrs. Zheng Peifu. And the General Manager of the Jingyi Enterprise, Ms. Zhang Yizhen. And from Kaohsiung, the Huatou Guanyin Temple, the Abbot, Ms. Ma Huaying. And the Abbot of the Wuji Xuanqing Tang. And the rep to the Council of Tainan City.
My university Xian classmate Zhu Jinshui 先生及夫人陈泽霞女士。
Mr. and Mrs. Zhu Jinshui, President of the Worldwide Lotus Light Charity Society, Master Chang Ren. Producers from CTI TV Taiwan, 给你点上心灯 Ms. Rebecca Shiachi. And producers for the Great Perfection Dharma, Hevaja Exposition, Development Stages of Tantrayana, Lamdre, and Sutra of Perfect Enlightenment, Master Lien Yu. And the hosts, Master Lien Hai and Dharma Sister Pei Jun.
My sister Lu Shengmei 女士 My sister Lu Guoyin 女士
Miss Lu Shengmei, Miss Lu Guoyin and her husband.
这是感谢的
And thank you
林师
for
姐
their
打斋
donations.
10万元，
Dharma sister Su Pei Ling, 100,000 NT dollars.
张培二
Dharma
师兄
brother
打
Zhang
斋
Pei
10万
Er,
元，
100,000 NT dollars.
梁永新师兄
Dharma
打
brother
斋
Liang
10
Yong
万
Xin,
元，
100,000 NT dollars.
郑少林师姐打斋10
And
万
Dharma
元。
sister Zheng Shaoling, 100,000 NT dollars.
今天有一位可以讲有一对吧，
And today
特别的贵宾，
we have a couple of special guests,
没有登记这个
but
贵宾，
they didn't register
没有登
themselves
记贵宾，
as the
他
VIPs,
是某一个国家的，
and they
某
are,
一个国家的，我也不要讲出他们的身份，
I would not mention their positions
他
here.
们是贵宾。
They did not register themselves as VIPs, yet they are VIPs.
大家晚安，大家好，大家午安，大家好，你好，大家好，唔該晒。
How do you do, everybody? Thank
Selamat
you.
siang, selamat petang,
Selamat siang, selamat petang.
sawadika, kamsahamnida.
还不行啊。
どうもこんにちは。Good afternoon. 少子，多一起，多一起。修基师姐跟我讲，
And Dharma sister Shuji told me
华文
that in France,
他跟我讲一个比较正
in
确的发
French,
音他不是讲
the more appropriate pronunciation is not merci beaucoup. Oh, bonjour.
bonjour。
Bonjour.
华文他跟我讲 bonjour， 我不知道 bonjour 是什么。
I don't know what that means.
午安呢
Good morning. Good afternoon.
bonsoir。
Bonsoir. Bonsoir is good evening.
这个 Hola amigo, te quiero mucho。今天这个要说法以前，先跟大家讲
Prior to the Dharma teaching today, I would like to say that tomorrow afternoon
在广喜堂
will be at the Guangxi
现在
Lei
他
Zhang
们已
Temple.
经盖好了，在
Now they have built a new temple in Taoyuan.
叉叉的一个堂，一个雷藏寺
Our temple that is closest to Chata, to
应该
X.
讲起来，桃园那地方都很接近的。
But generally speaking, anyone in
不用紧
Taoyuan
张，
is quite close.
一
But
切是平
please
安吉祥。
don't be nervous. Don't be anxious. Everything will be fine and auspicious.
一切都非常好。
Everything will be
他们那边
fine.
是要开光的哈。
They need consecration of these images, and they need a ceremonial boundary, and they said that it's very
然后要
important.
传这个 这个叫做金光
And I will
金光
transmit
咒
the golden light
另外还有
mantra
金刚咒的观想，还有所谓的金刚
and
符，
the visualization and the talisman
他们
and
是想
also
求
the
这样子的观想。
cleansing method of the 9
大家
phoenixes.
如果有空的话，
So
不妨
if you have
去这
time,
个
please
广
come
喜
by
堂广
to
喜雷藏寺
Guangxi Lezang
去
Temple
走一走，去那里参观一下。
and just visit and check it out.
这是明天的事。
That's tomorrow afternoon.
那还要讲叉叉吗？
Should we talk more
应该是
about
很累了
X? I'm tired of
稍
it.
微当成笑话，当成笑话。
Just think of it as a
有一
joke.
次，这个叉叉去 Calgary，
One time, X went to Calgary
就是加拿大的
in
Calgary，
Canada.
就是叫卡城，
In Chinese, it's called 卡
我
城
们国语称为卡城，不是卡城。
but not 卡城 in Taiwanese.
去那里，他是做法会，说法。
To perform ceremonies there.
那
She
有一
was
位
there,
雷师姐，
and there was a Dharma
雷师
sister
姐
lay,
是香港普门
and
普门同修
she
会的，
belongs to the Pumen chapter in
她
Hong
是
Kong.
堂主，雷
Oh,
师
she's
她
the
就
head of that chapter in
很
Hong
大
Kong,
方地
Pumen
请这个
chapter.
叉叉去那里，
And she
去他家住
generously
就等于
invited
他家
X
让给叉叉住。
to stay
那
at her
叉叉
house.
对雷师姐讲，你
And
们家里
X
供奉的
told
土地公
Dharma
跟
sister
我
Lay
说，
that
他已经在这
the
里
earth
等
god
叉叉
at
500
your
年
home told
500
X that he's been waiting for her for 500 years.
少东上师是这样子讲，
And Master Sao Tong
说
said
这个加拿大建国150年，他
that
建
the
国只有
establishment
150
of
年
Canada is only
这个土
150
地公在
years,
那边等500
but the
年
earth
实
god
在是非常
has
的
been
辛苦
waiting for 500 years.
等这个叉叉来给他
It was
让他
quite
皈依，
a
皈
misery
依，然后他可以
because he wanted to take
增加
refuge
果位，
and to
皈依
increase
然后增加
his spiritual
在
fruition.
那边等他500年。
And he's been waiting for her for 500 years. When I heard that, I thought
应该是冰河时期，
that 500 years ago was the Ice
地公在那边实在
Age,
很辛苦，等他500年，
and the Earth God
太辛苦了，
must suffer a lot waiting for her there.
应该是冰河时期吧。
It should be the Glacial Age.
我是在想，
哦
说
era
他为什么不讲说是5万年？
Why didn't she
如
say
果讲
that
5万年的话，
it was 50,000 years?
中国的历史才5000年文化，
Then
5000
wow,
年文化，他等他5万年。
China only has 5,000 years of history,
我是觉得这个土
and
地公
yet
很辛苦
he was waiting for 50,000
实在
years.
令人同情这个土地公，
So the Earth
没有
God
什么话好讲的哈。
is really suffering, and we're
另外有
empathetic
一个
toward
师兄
him.
是香
Nothing
港
else
的
to
师兄
say.
吧
And there was a Dharma
Ah.
brother from Hong
他好
Kong,
像也是到过茶茶那里，
and he's been to
Oh.
Chata X place,
他最后就失眠，
and
然
then
后
he couldn't sleep
又是幻听，
and had hallucinations,
最后呢
hearing
想要跳楼
things and feeling things, and
是
eventually he wanted to jump off the building.
少东上师啊，
Mr. Sao
你跟他
Tong,
讲
Master
是
Sao Tong,
他是怎么讲的？你欠他什么呢？
how did you
那个电话，那不是电话，
give him the phone?
不是他
No,
用
no, not
电
the
话
phone.
欠他。
He talked to him on the phone.
大家好，阿弥陀佛。
Amitabha, everybody.
6位师兄就
there was a Dharma brother that made a phone call to me, and he said that he had a dream, and saw a lot of images of X, and he hadn't gone to work for 1 week, and he went to the top of the building and wanted to jump off the building. And then he made a phone call to me, and I asked him, so can you chant the Akala mantra? And usually he chanted that, and he said, no, I don't know. But do you remember the Sijun Grandmaster? Yeah, he's my lineage root guru. So do you know how to recite the root guru mantra? And I asked him to please sit down. And I asked him to chant Om Guru Lien Sung Siddhi Hom. Santian. And then he continued chanting for 3 days, and then finally he recovered and didn't have such a thought anymore. So someone that was about to jump off the building to kill himself was saved. And Master Changzi from Hong Kong also heard of that case, and also Master Changren, right, knew of this. He had climbed to the top of the building and wanted to jump off the building. And Master Sao Tong asked him to chant the Root Guru mantra, and he chanted it, and gradually he calmed down, because every time he closed his eyes, he would see X and all the ghosts, groups of ghosts following her, asking him to jump off the building. But he did not. He was saved. He's here now. So he's here at the Taiwan temple. So please remember, when you have anxiety, when you cannot sleep, when you feel like someone's asking you to jump off the building, please don't, because that meant you would go to the XX Chachafu. There are so many cases like this. When I heard Zhao Shaotong told me, and a few other people, and asking people from Hong Kong like Master Changren, Master Changzi, and they both knew of this case. And there are many more that we are not aware yet. But there's one thing that I like to tell you, I like to remind you. People who came back from X to Grandmaster here, what I heard was they wanted to get on the bus to come to the Taiwan temple, and they were rejected. Many people did not want to have them on their buses, so they had to charter their own bus. These people were used to be at X place, but now they have returned and come back to Grandmaster. But yet they were rejected by many people because they were scared. So they had to charter their own bus to come here. When I heard that, I felt really bad. Because they have come back and been repurified, so we all should help them instead. We should be empathetic toward them.
也都是同门，
We are all human beings and we are all fellow disciples.
一定
And they may not have done anything wrong.
就回到这
They
个
come back
台湾
here
内藏寺的
to
要修
Taiwan
满
Lechang Temple and they ask
大
for
家让他们做没
repurifications.
有关系的。
It's okay to let them
做的
get
时
on the
候
bus.
记得你让他们做，但是坐在
You
游
let
览车的
them
人记得
join
观想
your bus, and on the bus, please visualize that Grandmaster is sitting on top of your heads and recite Om Guru Lien Seng Siddhi Hom. Then you would be fine.
啊，我又想起一件事是这样子，
And I thought of another thing.
有一个姓赖的师姐，
There was a Dharma
她到
sister
美
Lai,
国去玩，
and she went to America,
这个 Texas，
to
她
Texas.
去德州去玩，她没有去密雷藏寺。
She didn't go to the Mi'i Lechang Temple in
这
Houston.
位师姐呢，只是跟着
And this
密
Dharma
雷藏
sister
寺以前的同门
was just with a few fellow disciples from Mi'i Lechang Temple.
在一起以后呢，既然也不能睡，
And after that, she started to lose sleep
身体暴瘦，就非
and she lost a lot of weight.
突然间就一直瘦，一直瘦，一直瘦。
She was fine before and she continued to
最
lose
近已
weight.
经渐渐的恢复了。
And recently, she has recovered.
这个恢复，其实只是见到密雷藏寺的同门，
And she was just
怎么也会这样子？
be with the Mi'i Lechang Temple's disciples.
这是
So
有一
what
种
happened?
细菌啊，
So this is a kind of germs that are infectious.
这个不知道怎么办呢？
Don't know what should be done.
你要观想师尊住的，
But I would like to say, please visualize Grandmaster sitting on top of your heads and continually chant Rut Guru mantra and let Grandmaster handle everything.
啊，一切师尊当，师尊已经
Everything
百
will
毒
be
不侵
taken
了。
care of by Grandmaster because Grandmaster is untouched by any germs and poisons.
如果有干扰，你就
If
叫
you
他，
have
你说你去找
disturbances,
我的师尊，
you just ask them to go find my Guru, Grandmaster. That's all you need to say. Why Grandmaster is untouched
啊，毕业
by all poisons
很好意。
and toxins. When I just got
炖
back,
那个
Reverend Bien was very
鸡汤给
kind-hearted.
我喝，每
With good
餐
intention,
炖，
she would
每一
make
天他会炖鸡
a
汤
chicken
给我喝。
essence for me to drink every
这个
day.
时候呢，台湾全省
But at
就
that
得到
time,
鸡瘟，
there was a chicken flu in Taiwan. Bird flu
禽
or
流
chicken
感
flu.
啊，
Bird's flu.
鸡瘟啊，他每天
Chicken
炖鸡
flu.
汤
And
给我
yet, she made the chicken essence every day for
我
me
已
to
经有
drink.
鸡瘟了，我本来属鸡嘛，
So I had the chicken's flu because my Chinese zodiac is chicken. So every day I would crow like a
得
chick,
到我自
like
己
a
本身也得了
rooster.
鸡瘟。
So it's
好
like
啦，
I
鸡
got
汤
the
不喝啦，
chicken's flu, or like vaccination.
吃这个牛排吧。
And then I don't drink the chicken
我
essence
不是
anymore,
吃
so
牛排，
I start
我是吃
to
优果，
eat
每天晚
the
上
beef
我一定要
steak.
吃优果。
No, now I drink yogurt. Every
很
night
多
I
同
would
门供养我优果，
eat yogurt. Many disciples
拼命吃
offered
吃优果
yogurt to me.
优果一直吃，一直吃，一直吃。
That's
突然之间，
too many of them, so I
说这个
continue eating so
台
much
湾的
yogurt.
牛啊，
And then I
得
heard
到
that
结核
Taiwanese cows
会结核。
are infected with tuberculosis.
我这个胸部啊，有当时啊，流啊，安尼生生，
So my chest
惊到要死去。
are
凡
sour,
是乳
are
制品，
sour,
你知道吗？牛奶、生牛
are
奶，
sore.
把它制成优果，
Because yogurt is made from
这
milk
个全部都是乳制品。
and cheese is made from yogurt, and they're all dairy products.
那很多人供养我 yogurt，
Many
很多世界
people
知道
offered
的供养
yogurts
我
to
yogurt，
me,
我就吃了很多。
so I ate a
这
lot
下
of
子也
yogurt.
得到牛的肺结核，
So I got
也
tuberculosis
得
from
了
the
肺结核。
cows.
有时候，嗯
So sometimes I would,
无缘无故也会再
and
生一下这样。
with no reason I
牛
would
既然得了肺结核，
cough a
吃
little.
鸡蛋吧。
So because the cows got
我每天
TB,
绝对
so
吃
I
2个蛋以
eat
上，
eggs,
每天吃
chi-
2个蛋
chicken
以上
eggs. So every day I eat over 2 chicken eggs offered by
而且我
disciples
吃的都
every
是温
day,
泉蛋，
and
半
I
生
eat
不熟的、
the
半生不熟的温泉蛋。
spring
这一
hot
下子
spring eggs, which
这
is
新闻
half
这
cooked.
几天的新闻你们看到没有？
And recently, have you watched
这
the
是
news?
世纪剧毒啊！
The
世纪的
worst
剧毒
toxins of
戴
the era. It's called
奥
dioxin.
辛。我吃了多少蛋？
And I don't know how many
告诉你哦。
eggs I have eaten.
从我这个优格，我在吃优格的时候，就接着就吃蛋了。
Yogurt
吃
and
的蛋有多
eggs.
少呢？
So how many eggs have I eaten?
半年是多少个蛋？半
So
年。
how many eggs
半
for
年每
half
天
a
吃
year?
啊，半年。
360 eggs.
每天如果平均2个、3个吧，
So on average, 3 a day.
500多颗蛋。
So 500 eggs
哇！
in
我
half
这
a
一下
year.
子啊，这剧毒在我身上，
So I collected all those toxins in my body,
通通
and
都要，
all so many ghosts
还有很
that are
多
looking
很
for
多的
me,
这个做法在我身上。
and there are many spells and curses
这个是
on
人
me
家要做杠头的第一个目标。
because I am always the
第一个目
target
标，人家
of
第一
other
想到我
people's
一定
black
给我做杠
magics
头。
and spells, because people always think of me when they want to
所以
cast
现在已经
their
练成
curses.
百毒不侵，
So thank to them, now I've trained myself to be
永北啊，利润啊，
untouched by any poisons and toxins.
这个功力越来越强。
That I'm becoming more and more powerful. I become the untouchable.
真的啊，还好，
So really,
一
good
切
thing.
都还好。
Everything is
谢谢
still
大家的
fine.
加持，
Thank
谢谢
you
大家的祝
for
福，
all of your
还有
blessings
那
and
些那个
well
什么
wishes,
叉叉符的加持啊，
and also blessings from
还有
X
叉
or
叉
Tata
很多
Fu,
的加持，非常好。
and also from
这
X.
个因为得了这个精神病，所以精神就越来越好。
Once you suffer from mental disease, then your
笑话吧。
energy, your spirit's getting better and
不
better.
谈了，不谈了。
That's just
谈下去
jokes.
还得了？
Okay, that's it.
没有时间。
We have not much time if we
这吉
continue
祥
on
天
this.
呢？
So
吉祥
Mahasri,
天啊，跟大家讲吉祥天了。
let me talk about
吉祥
Mahasri.
天，这个就是在西弥山的半腰，
She's on the halfway of Mount Meru.
是在西弥山的半腰，北方
That's
多
the
闻天王，
Vaishrana,
很媚，
Vaishravana
就是吉
heaven,
祥天。
which is the heavenly
在
king
金
of the
光明
north,
记
is
里面
also
可以找
there.
得到啊，吉祥天。
And you can see it in the Sutra of Supreme Light.
佛问吉祥天，你住哪里
There's a
呀？
dialogue between the Buddha and Mahasri. So where do you live? And she said,
就是多
at
就是
my
多闻
brother's
天王
place. And who is your brother?
多
My
闻
brother
天
is
王的
Vaishravana.
北方的天宫很大，
And that's
非
the
常绵
north palace of
那
Vaishravana,
里面
which
有
is
一个叫做
huge.
功德殿，
And
我就
there
继
is
续
the
继续在
meritorious
那里吉祥
hall.
天讲，大吉祥天讲，
So
我就住在那里
Mahasri said, that's the place where I
Wow.
live.
那么他是什么啊？他是给予
So who
吉
is
祥，
she? She
赐
would
给吉祥
bestow
马哈斯
auspiciousness,
利，
Mahasriya,
就吉祥天。
the great auspicious
然后呢，
heavenly
吉祥
lady.
天呢，他又是住在功德殿，
And
又是功德
Mahasri
天。
also lives in
他
the
跟佛陀讲，
meritorious palace, so that's why she's also called the meritorious
你
heaven.
亲近的供养，恭
And the
敬
Buddha said, as
称
long
念
as
释迦
you
牟尼佛的名号
make offerings
或
of
者他们咒
pure, clean
他都会吉
offerings
祥天都会赐福给他
to
们。
the Buddha, and you call upon
这
Sakyamuni
是他们
Buddha's
本身很
appetite,
伟大的
and
地方。
Mahasri will bestow
吉祥天呢，
upon them.
它有12个
That's how
天
great
都叫
Mahasri
吉祥
is.
天，有
There are
12个
12
名称
celestial
12个名
goddesses
称
that are called
所以
Mahasri.
我们
They
在
have
念
12
道家的
names.
咒里面有听到12
So when we recite
12心，
the
就是
Taoist
12吉祥
mantra,
天。
there was the 12
那么师母莲香上师呢，也就是吉祥天的
auspicious
化身。
12 streams,
莲香上师吉祥天的化身。
and they are all Mahasris. And Simu, Vajramasa Lianxiang, is also
这12吉祥天，
emanation of Mahasri. I have met 12 of
在
them.
招请的时候，
Just now, when I invoked them,
有12吉祥天，
there were 12
还
Mahasris
有
that
无常
descended.
寿天的天女也来，
And then
有
the
4个守护
divine
天的天女，
goddesses from the longevity
还有
heavens,
八方
and the
的天女
goddesses from the 4
20天的
guardians,
天
and
女
also
全部都
the
到，
celestial
所有的空
goddesses
间
from
都
the
到。
8 directions and from the 20 heavens. So all these Dakinis came earlier.
所以我们今天的这个附魔
So the Homa
非
today
常的殊胜，
is extremely wonderful.
可以讲所有的天母
So we can say that all the goddesses, all the Dakinis
全部下降，
gathered
全部在虚
and
空中
descended
舞蹈，
and dance in the sky.
所抛下来的天花，无数
And
无数
all
的
the
天花
heavenly
像雨
flowers,
点那么
the
多地
celestial
抛下来
flowers, were showered just like the raindrops.
哦，刚刚这个拍师母，
And
谁偷拍的？
someone took a picture of Simu. Who did
我们
that?
出去点火的时候，莲殿上是拍师母，
Master Lian Tian
全
took a
部是
picture
大
of
白
Simu.
光，师母变成化为
And
大白
it
光。
was all the bright white light. Simu became a white light.
哦，你看，
When I was
全身
lighting
花
the
大
Homa
白
fire,
光
so her whole body became
像
a
天
ball
女
of
本
white
身就是
light
白色，
because
那
Mahasri
她的手
Devi
印
is
呢
white,
就是开腹
and
莲
her
花
mudra
开腹的莲花，她的
is
手
the
印。
open
你
lotus
观想她的时
mudra,
候啊，
and you
她是
visualize
财
her,
宝天，它又叫财宝天。
and she's
把那
also
个
the
财宝
heaven
丢
of
在她的
wealth
手上，
and riches, and you
丢
visualize
在你自己
that
的
the
手上。你
wealth
观想，
are thrown to your hands
然后
when
丢
you
下了财宝，
visualize Mahasri
它是功德天、
throwing the
财
wealth
宝
and
天，
riches to your
还有吉
hands.
祥天。
So the
它的名
meritorious
称很多
heaven,
的很多。
auspicious heaven,
那么我
and
以前教过
Vaishravana
大
heaven.
家的法，它的手印就
I
像
have
开腹
taught
莲花。
this Dhamma practice before. The mudra is like the open
最短的
lotus,
心咒
the shortest
玛
mantra,
哈斯利亚所哈，
Om Mahasriya Soha.
在日本的观想很容易观想，
It's easy to visualize the Mahasri from
手
Japan.
上拿
She
着吉
looks
祥
like a
果，
goddess. She's holding an auspicious
拿着吉祥果
fruit.
那么 右手一
and
页
her right hand is the wishful feeling mudra, and her left hand is holding the auspicious
像
fruit,
天女，
and she
全
looks
身
like a
非
goddess,
常的庄严，
and the whole
所
body
有种种
very
庄严，
beautiful and
这是东域
dignified
的这个吉祥天，
with all kinds of
藏域的
ornaments.
吉祥天
That's the
就有祥
Japanese
子的力量
style. The Tibetan
它骑着
style
宝马，
can subjugate.
宝
She's
马上
riding
屁股上
on
还
a
有一只
horse,
眼睛呢，
and there's an
它可以
eye
看前
at
面，也
the
可以看后面，
buttock or
它还
the
可以向
of
出
the
很多的外道。
horse, and she can look forward and backward, and she can subjugate all kinds of evils. Different. She's different from the Japanese style
在
of
美国的
Mahasuri.
家里有一尊
At my
这个
home
吉
in
祥天，在我
America,
的客厅，
there's a Mahasuri at
它
my
是
living room,
莲木法师送的，
and she was offered by Reverend Lian
台
Mu
北
from Taipei,
圆通寺莲木法师送的。
Yentong
那我
Temple.
们现在请在美国
Reverend
西雅图
Lian Mu. Since now the statue is at the living room of the Southern Mountain abode.
就在客厅进去，一进
As you
去
entered into
看
the
这
living
个
room,
左边
you look to the
就
left,
是吉祥天，跟
and
释
that's
迦
the
牟尼佛
Mahasri
供
and
在那里。吉
Sakyamuni
祥天
Buddha
跟释迦牟尼佛，
are enshrined there.
它有很多的法，还有这个占
She
卜
has
的法
many
占卜，
Dharma
它可以给你梦
practices,
示。
divination, and she will give you
我告诉
dream
你哦，它
divination,
是处
and you
女
can
值
take the
的五
five
色线
color
也
thread
就是
that
我们
has
谈
to
话
be
就是宰仙路
that has to be knotted by a virgin.
处女，它用直的五色线，直出来的五色线，然
So
后
a
里
five
面
colored
它的心咒，
thread
108遍打一个结，108遍打一个结，
that's
念
knotted,
12个结，用了
and
念了
when you
12个
chant
结
her mantra 108 times, and then you
睡
tie
觉
a
的时
knot,
候放
and
在
then
枕
you
头上，
tie a total
挂
of
在你的
12
枕头旁
knots,
边。
and then you
吉祥
place
天里
the
会下
thread, the knotted
你问
thread,
什么事，
at your pillow when you
回答你
sleep
什么
at
话。
night, and then you ask her a question,
然后
and
我
then
这
she
个
would
事业
reply
会
in
成
your
功
dream.
吗？他晚上
Will
下降
my
在你耳朵旁边跟
work
你讲，
succeed?
这个事业会成
So
功。
she would descend at night and tell you in your
啊
dream.
我这个事业会成功吗？
So
你念
will my job
108
succeed?
遍的 Om Maha
So you
Sriya
recite Om Mahasriya Soha 108 times, and then you tie a knot, and you tie a total of 12 knots, and then you place the knots, the thread,
他梦中出现来告
next
诉
to
你，
your head at night, and you ask her the question, and she would give you the answer in your dream.
不会成，还是
Whether
有
your
什么挫
career
折，
will
他在
succeed
梦
or
中都会
not,
告诉你。
and what kind of challenges you
你
will
追求一个
face,
女生，
you will be told in
你
your
也用
dream.
这个方法，
So if you
她会
pursue
在
a
梦中
lady,
告诉你。
she can tell you in your dream too.
记住，处女的五色
So
线，
remember,
处女所
it
结
has
的
to be
五色
knotted by a virgin.
现在要找处女啊，
It's hard nowadays to find a virgin.
说这个很难，告诉你五色线买来，
So
念清净咒，
let me tell you,
念
you can do this. You buy a 5-color thread,
1800遍，
and then you recite the purification mantras, and then you recite 1,080 times of purification
在香上
mantras,
面过一下，
and then you pass the thread on top of incense smoke, then that's the same as cleansing. So the thread would be cleansed that way.
他是喜欢干
There's a
净。
hobby.
你要念他的
of
咒，一定要先刷牙。
She
要
likes
刷牙，你
cleanliness.
不能用你的
So
口咒
in
念他的咒
chanting her mantra, you need to brush your teeth
要把牙
first.
齿先弄干净。
You
先
cannot
闻一
chant
闻
her mantra with a bad odor. You need to smell
自己口齿有没有清香，
and see
不要老是在
if
跟师
your
尊讲
mouth
话
and
的时
your
候，师尊
teeth
都赶快闪，
are fragrant and clean.
真的。
So Don't
我也是
keep
最
the
怕
hygiene.
最怕口臭。
Otherwise, when
我
you
天
talk
不
to
怕地不怕
Grandmaster would
我
avoid
最
you.
怕口臭。
I'm not afraid of
你做
heaven
法
or
给
earth,
做
but
法
I'm
给
most
先生，你用
afraid
口臭
of the
做
bad
法给我，
odor.
我绝对怕死了，我早就绝对跑。
So the worst spell that you can cast on me is the bad odor.
他喜欢干净，
She likes
你要念他的
cleanliness.
咒，先洗澡，
Before
洗好
chanting her
澡
mantra,
刷
you need
牙
to
洗脸，
bathe,
整个
brush
弄
your
干净，
teeth, wash your face, and
把你身
clean
上的排泄
yourself
物全部排
completely.
泄掉，
And
你才好好念他的咒。
excrete
他喜
all
欢
the
干净，
excrements,
有一
everything.
点污秽，
She likes
那就不来。
cleanliness. If
他不
there
跟
is some
不跟
filth
你玩，
at all, then she would not descend. She would not come to play
啊
with
这
you.
是吉祥天女，她最喜欢干净。
So
还有一
Mahasri
点，
Devi likes
你可以念咒，
cleanliness very much. She's very
念这个吉祥天女咒，
meticulous.
结了12个，打了12个
You
结，
chant Mahasri's
然
mantra
后绑
and
在
tie
男
12
生的，
knots,
可以绑在他
and
的
for
肚
the
子，
man,
男生
you can
绑在他
tie
的
it
肚子，或
around
绑在他的腰际。
his waist or tummy,
晚上会怎么样？
and at night,
不会梦醒，
then he
人听有
will
无？
not dream of emission
不
anymore.
会梦醒，你就不会梦醒了，因为你干
So
净
he
了，
will not
不会梦
ejaculate
醒，
in the
不会
sleep
做春梦。
because he's clean
晚上
now.
有一个女的过来，
He will not have dreams of
你就
sex.
这半夜啊，像我们阿兵哥啊，半夜要洗来
Like
洗床
there are
单，
many soldiers that have to wash their sheets and underpants at night because of the emission
啊，
during sleep.
肠子上是蟑螂，懂吗？
So the Venerable
年轻的时
Elder
候啊，
Master
年轻的
Changzi,
时候啊，
do you know?
军人啊，
When you were
你
young,
念这吉
as
祥天女咒，
soldiers,
打12个结，
you chant the Mahasri mantra
可以
and
使
tie 12
你的
knots
梦醒，
and then tie them
可
around
以使你
your
的梦醒。
waist. It would stop
女
you
生啊，
from
要
nocturnal
生孩
emission.
子，你跟他
And
求
for
一样的
women,
12个结，
all the same, you pray to her with 12 knots
绑在你
and
身上。
tie them around your tummy.
命中若有，终须有。梦
So if it is
命中没有，
destined for
莫
you,
强求。
then you
你
would
打了12个
be
结，
pregnant. With
在
tying
这一
12
年
knots,
里面一定会有生育。如
then
果有的
you
话，
would become
你命里
pregnant
面有的话，
within
一定他今
12
年就会来。
months. If it is in your destiny,
这个
then
特
it
别
will
好
happen to you in that year. So this is a very special Dharma.
啊，他有很多的法了，
She has so many different
那还有
Dharma
占卜的、
practices,
国画
divination,
的，请吉祥天
and
女
throwing the trigrams, asking Mahasri to take charge.
所以有
She's
梦
good
通
at
法
this.
五色现梦事
So
法，
dream
对
guidance,
习斋
the
可
five
以求财
thread,
也有本尊。
guidance
你看师母哦，
and
她是大
asking for
福
wealth
金刚的
and purification. Look at Simu. She
吉祥
is
天女。
the
你看她
Mahasri
去
with great wealth.
看吧，她去新加坡，
Vajra.
到了新加坡雷
See,
藏寺，
she went to Singapore
新加坡雷
to
藏
the
寺的号
Singapore
那
Lechang
个门牌
Temple,
号码是29号，
and the house number is 29.
2929。
And then the number for the lottery winner was
她
2929.
到了狮城雷藏寺，
And then she went
狮
to
城雷藏寺的
Si
门牌
Chen
号
Lei
码
Zhang Temple,
是117。
and the house number is
三个
117.
字不成啊，一定要4个字啊。
But there are only 3
她就
numbers,
再加上一个
and they
七
need
字，
4
有
numbers.
7
So they add 7, the number 7. So it
狮城
becomes
雷藏寺的门牌号码
7117.
是117哦，开出来的号码是7。
So the lottery number that won the first prize was
Wow.
7117.
这个新加坡很多人中奖，都是中
So many people won prizes in Singapore through the 4 numbers.
新竹福佑雷藏寺。
At Hsinchu, the Fuyu Lechang
我说
Temple,
高雄住19年了，
during the Dharma teaching, I said, I live in Kaohsiung for 19 years and Taichung for 19 years.
1919啊，
And people from Singapore and Malaysia thought, well,
全部中
good
奖了
number, they bought 1919 and they won prizes.
啊，师尊是大佛金刚，
So Grandmaster is the Vajra with great wealth, and Sumu is Mahasri. See, so many people won prizes. It's true.
啊，5点52分。啊
It's 5:52 already. Jeez.
哎呦，今天的道果要讲一下吧。又持
Now we
众
want to talk
所
about
谓
Lamdre a little bit
软极道
and about
厌
the
极
path
道
of warm accumulation and the path of experience
极道
accumulation.
那个读作软吗？
What is the warmth accumulation mean?
软极道，指
How
世
do
间
we
道
pronounce
之
that
下
one?
分别前行
So
的
the
善
path of warm
软相
accumulation refers to the meditation in the worldly path
其余
that arises from the 3 kinds of warmth in the preliminary practices, whether it arises from hallucination or non-meditation, or appearances due to existing conclusion,
戒不坚固
clarity due to decisive conclusion, any kinds of merits from leaking transcendent powers are all weak and unstable, although it has some slight self-benefit.
别前行
They are not generated through the
在
development
修法的
stages.
前行当中
So,
会出现的3
in
种
the
软相
preliminary part
所
of
设
your
是
practices,
在禅定当
there are
中
3 kinds of warmth that would
出现
arise
前行的3种软相，
in meditation.
其余不定之妄象中，那个不属于真实的软
But
相。
it arises from hallucination, so it's not the real
无论
warmth.
现起决定的景
phenomena
象，你也可以看到景象。
And you can also see some
它也
visions,
产生光明，明相就是产
and
生光明。
it can
这是有
generate
漏的神通
light that's
这
still
种
leaking
任何的
transcendent
功德
powers.
通通都不是
And
坚
this
固
kind of merit is
啊
not
刚开始
strong.
是这样子，
It's
利
not
益为
stable.
我而已
That's at the
依非
beginning.
依非
The
次
benefit
第而
is
行
very small, and they are
也就是
not
说
generated
当
through
刚
the
禅定
development
的时候啊
stages.
出
So
现
what it
感觉
meant
到哪里
is
热
in meditation,
这是软相，
you feel some
哪里
warmth.
有光明，
So that's the
这是明
warmth
相。刚开始前
phenomena.
你做了
And
3
if you
种
see luminosity, that's also some kind of phenomena. So
是
3
属于
kinds of meditation,
这个
the warmth that
世
appeared
间
from
道
it,
以下
that's below the worldly
所产
path.
生的。有时候我们运动的时候，身体也会热，
Sometimes when we
这是
exercise,
软相。
we would feel
你
warmth.
有时候眼睛一
That's
闭，也可以
warmth
看到光明出
phenomena.
现。
And sometimes when you close your eyes, you see light,
看光
but
明
they're
有一次看
unstable
到以后
and they're
就
not
消失掉
strong. And sometimes you see the light and then it disappears.
这个都是
And
不
then you
坚
see
固
it again and disappears again. So that's unstable, it's not strong. So when you exercise, you feel warmth.
热禅定产生的热，但是
And
这个
in
热有时候
meditation,
会
the
产生
warmth
热
that
有时候不
arises
产生热
sometimes there, sometimes not.
这一种都不是真实的，
That's not
都是妄想，
real.
看
That's
到的也是
all
妄想，
illusion.
看
And
到的
whatever you see at this stage,
当然
also
也称为
illusion.
神通，但是叫做
Of course, this is also called supernatural power or
不属于
transcendent
坚
power,
固的神
but
通。
they are
这
leaking.
样子来
They
讲，
are not considered
通通不
the
坚固的，
robust
利益
or
也
the
为
strong
有，
transcendent
也不是
powers.
次第而生。
So the benefit is very
我们虽然
slight,
有打
and
坐，
it's not
产生
step
了
by
哪里
step
热
through
哪
the
里热，
development
有时候
stages.
热，有时候不热，有时候有
Although
光，
in your
有时候看不到
meditation,
光。
sometimes you feel
那是一
warm,
个过
sometimes
程，
not, sometimes you see light, sometimes not. It's just part
不要
of the
执着那个
process.
过程，
And
你要
don't be
继
so
续
attached to
在
that.
修这个
You should
后
just
面讲的这
continue,
个。
which is
如
mentioned
果在
here.
出世间道
In the
名为
out of worldly
验机
realm,
道，
it is called the path of experience accumulation.
有真实
So
的
there
验相。
is a true
若以外相
experiences.
外验相现起明点，内验
They
相
are real
现
and
起
authentic. If the outer spiritual experiences arise through the appearance of light
神
drops,
通等一
if
切
the
功
inner
德真实
spiritual
具
experiences arise through the appearance of
就是
qi,
叫做
and the
验
ultimate
机道，
spiritual
有验的道。
experiences arise through the
这个
appearance
是
of the
外
mind,
验相
then
现
the
起明点，
transcendent power
你
and
可以
all
看到
merits
系
are
统
real
都
and
有明点
authentic.
出现，
So the
系统都有
outer
明
spiritual
点出现，
experiences,
就是外
you
验
would
相，
be able to see light drops in the sky.
有一点一
That's
点
the
的
outer.
点出现，
You can
这是
see
外验相。
like drops of white
然后呢，
lights.
你内验相现起的
And the
气，
inner
你知道
spiritual
气走在哪里
experiences
你懂得，你吸
is
了
the
一口气
appearance of
进去，
qi.
你这一口气在
You know,
丹
when
田
you inhale the
这个
qi,
这一口
the
气
qi reaches
下到内
dantian,
轮，你知道，
and then you know.
这一口
And
气
then when the
到了
qi
心，
goes
你也知
down
道
to the
它
secret
到了
chakra, and
心，
you know. And
你
when
也
the
知道
qi
它到了
reaches the
喉，
heart chakra,
你
you
也
also
知道
know.
这个气
And to
已经到
throat
了眉心
and to
轮，
the brow, and you
或者
know
这个
where the
气
qi
已
is.
经在你的右肩，
Or it's on the
或者
right
你的左
shoulder
肩，
or left
右
shoulder.
肩跟左肩，气走到哪里，你都能够知道。
And you know wherever the qi
这个叫
goes
做
to.
气本身的
And
验
that's
相，内
the
验相
experience
现
of the
起
qi.
气，这个就是智慧气。
So
真
that's
如
the
验相
wisdom
现
qi.
起心，真如
And
验
the
相现
true
起心。
suchness spiritual experiences or the ultimate spiritual
就是
experiences
说，
arise
你
to the
的
appearance
验
of the
相，
mind.
你的这个心已经
So
化为一朵莲花，
the
莲
mind
花当
or
中
the
又有
heart
光明出来。
has transformed to become lotus blossom
你如
that
果能够
opens
真实
and that's light
在
generated
里
from
面
it.
真如，也就是佛
If
性
the
佛
true
性你的心
suchness
里面
or
已
the
经
Buddha
出现了
nature
佛性，你
has
自己知
appeared
道
inside your
这
heart,
种现象，这种神
then you
通
know that this
才
kind
叫
of
做
spiritual
真实不
experience,
虚。
this kind of
神通
transcendent
等一切
power
功德
is
是真
real
实
and
不虚，
authentic.
这个叫做验极道。
So this is called the
啊，
path
今天跟大家
of
讲这两样，
experience accumulation.
给大家解释这两样。
So that's my explanation for today.
这是老师教大家造句，这是一个
The
笑话。
teacher asks the
请各位
students to
同
make
学用
sentence.
目的这个
This is a
词
joke.
造句。
Use
小明就
the
讲，
word 目
你是
的
我见过的最
or
漂
the
亮
goal.
的老师。老师说谢
And
谢，
someone said,
但是目
"You're the
的
most
呢？
beautiful
小明讲，
teacher
我希
I've
望
met."
今天早一点
And
回
what is
家。
the goal? The goal is so that I can go home earlier today.
这个小学数学课，
At the
老师
math
正
class
在教
in the
除法
elementary
跟小
school,
数点。
the teachers
老师
us
出题，
is teaching
假
multiplication
如我有
and
10颗番茄，现在要
decimals.
平分给7个人，
If
请问算术
what is
该
divided
怎
into
么写？
7?
只见小明懒洋洋的回答：“老师，
How would you
全
write
部
it
打
in
成
math?
番茄酱就好了。”
tomato divided for 7 people, how much would that be? And Xiaoming replied,
这个在
tomato
道国里
sauce.
面来讲，
So in
真
Lamdre,
实的
the real one
有所谓坚固的一切真实功
are
德的
divided,
神通，
are classified as the strong and
也有一些
authentic
不实在的神
transcendent power,
不
but
实
they are
在的，
also the
并不是真实，
elusive
他看到只是妄想，
and
他认为是真
elusive
实，
transcendent power. And what they see is just an illusion, but they think
很多事情我
and
们
they
都可以知
believe
道。
they are real. So they are being
像鬼通，
tricked.
如果你养鬼
So
产
as we
生的鬼
know
通，
that you can connect or have
这是
some
一种妄想。
supernatural power due to the ghosts because you're employing ghosts and they're all
是
illusory
我可以很简
and
单的
what you
问，
predict would be wrong, what you
真
say
的
are
有一
wrong.
尊这个 Calcary 500年的
So
土
I
地
can
公
consult
在等
here.
叉叉吗？
So was
真的吗？
there an earth god in Calgary that's been waiting for X for 500 years? Is that really the case?
根本没有这回事。
Not at all. No such case at all.
我随时啊，
I can
随
check
时能够
anytime.
非常坚固的那一种功德，才是属于真实。
So at any time I have that strong
你以
and
妄想来
authentic
欺骗众生，
merits,
很
and
多
that's
的这个漏
authentic.
洞，很多的漏洞，
But if
很多
you
都是可以看出来。
cheat and fabricate, there are
你
lots
能
of
够把那个鬼
problems
给它舍弃吗？
that there you can see. There
变
are
成
lots of
你的后
holes.
面站的是
So now I'm asked, can you let go of all those ghosts
很多的光明的
so that behind
站在你
you
的后面，
instead
很
would
多
be
光明的
gods
活菩萨，
with bright
很多光明的
radiance,
你何
or
必
bright
养
bodhisattvas
那
and
5个鬼
bright
呢？
Buddhas? Why
何必养
instead
那5个鬼？
you employ ghosts,
吉
those
祥天
5
你都可以
heads
供
of the
奉啊，
ghosts? You can even
长寿
enshrine
5天你可
Mahasri
以供奉啊，
or the longevity
所
goddesses
有的5大金刚你都可以变成
or the
护法。
5 great
你为
Herukas.
什么一定要
You
让那5
can
个鬼当你的护法的头目呢？
You can have them as your protectors instead of those
所以这
ghosts.
种妄想，你不知道你的后面是那些鬼吗？
Don't you
已经
know
那个
that
已经跟
behind
你
you
讲
are
清
those
楚了，那个要
ghosts?
自杀那个人都看到了。
See, I've told you
你
very
的后面
clearly
全部都是奥巴马的，
that person that was going to kill
都是
himself
奥巴马。
is that he saw it behind you were really dark,
这样你还要供
all
奉吗？
dark spirits behind you. Why do you still worship them?
出现的妄想太多了。
Because you have so much hallucinations.
有一个乡下的欧吉桑去吃喜酒，
There was a villager man
假牙，
that went to the wedding party and he didn't bring his
吃到菜味，
denture,
坐立难安。
so he
旁边
couldn't
一个阿
eat.
婆就说，
So he felt very uncomfortable.
保留下来
And
的
there was
旧
an
牙齿
old lady sitting next to him and said, I have lots of dentures from my late
欧吉
husand.
桑想想也
Could
只有
you
这样
come by
去
and
到隔
maybe
壁
borrow
阿婆
one
家
and check
打开
and
抽，
select one?
就一堆的假牙。
So he went to her house
他终于找
and
到
when opened the drawer,
洗干净
there
带
was
上
a
还
stack
满
of
额的
dentures and
于是
found
吃了
one
一顿
that
很
fit
好的
quite
喜宴。
well. And so he had
假牙
enjoyed
洗干
the
净
banquet.
送回
And the second day, he
送
cleansed
回去给这
the
个
denture
阿伯，
and returned it to
化
that
成
elderly
假牙很好
lady
用。那请
and
问阿伯的先生
replied,
是不是
it's
做
good.
齿模科？你看齿模哈，
So, and
牙科的
asking
就知
her,
道
if
作词
he is
阿婆很害臊的
the denture makers,
不是啦，没啦，
and the
不
lady
是啦，
shyly
就不塞
replied,
啦。
"No,
就
he's
不
not,
所有死人的牙齿全部都捡起来，
because
放在他
he's the
家里。
collector of all the dentures of dead people."
我们捡的是要捡真的，
So what you
你不要
collect
去捡假。
should be the real
同样
one,
都是
not
牙
the fake
没有
one.
错。
They're both teeth.
神是有神通，
The
鬼有
gods
鬼通。
have supernatural power. The ghosts
佛
too have
本身的神
supernatural
通
power. But the
当
ghostly,
然是无边
the
际
God has
菩萨的神通
godly supernatural power. The
阿罗汉
Bodhisattva has
至
great
少有三光，
supernatural power,
有三种光
and
会显在他的
arhats
土
would
地上。
at least emit 3 kinds of
那你
lights on
叉
top
叉
of
为
their
什么要去
heads.
挑那个
But X, why do
死
you
人的牙齿？
choose the dentures of dead people?
稍微想一想看，
So think
我们
about
牙
it.
科那么多，
We have so many dentists.
啊，像这个莲吉上师的儿子，
Like Master Lian Ji's son.
莲吉上师呢，
Where is Master Lian
哎
Ji?
贝尔牙科，啊，他是贝尔牙科。那贝尔牙科很
The
多的
Bell
牙齿
Dental
你可以
Clinic.
去做，然后去
There
戴，
are many
啊，
teeth
去戴起来。
that you can
这个是正式的
make
牙
and
科。
wear.
那你为
That's
什么要
a
去
true
捡死人的
dentist.
牙齿戴在你的？
Why do you
戴在你的
want
牙
to
齿上呢？
pick the denture of a dead person to wear? You can go
通通
to a
可以
real
用，没有错。
dentist. Of
但是
course, you
你
can.
那个是鬼
They
痛，
can all be wearable,
不
but
是妄想，
the supernatural power that you
有
have
漏
is
的
due
神
to the
通啊，
ghosts.
就是
They're all
错误的，是
hallucinations.
妄想。
They're leaking transcendent power.
啊，有一位 Miss 进照相馆，问老板，
A
我的
lady
相
went
片
to
可以放
the
大吗？
photo studio
这个
and
老板接
asked
过底片
the
说可
owner,
以啊，要放多
"Can I
大
enlarge my photo?"
？Miss
Sure.
回答，别的不要放大，眼
Don't
睛要放
enlarge
大1倍，
everything. Just
胸部要
enlarge
放
the
大3倍，
eyes
这样就行了。
1 time and the breasts multiply 3 times. And the rest
这个也是
stays.
真假，对吧？那是真的跟
This
假
is
的。
also talking about
放
the
大就
real
要全部放
and the
大，
fake. So if you want to enlarge, you enlarge
你不能
everything.
只有放大那个地方，
You cannot just enlarge that part.
只有放大那个地方那是造假。
If you just enlarge that part, then that would be
啊
fabrication.
告诉大家，
That's
查的
fake.
造假非常
So
的
the
多，
fabrication of
非常
acts
的
is
多。
extremely
数不清的，每天
horrendous.
都有故事，
There were so many of them.
每
There's
天
so
都有，
many
天
stories
天我都听
told
听得
to
都
us that we
啊
got
希
so
望
sick of hearing
你
them.
带领你的那些人，
So I hope that
好
you
好
would
走
bring
向
your
真正
people
的道路，
to walk
不要
on
再
the
去走
right
那些妄
path
想的道路。
and don't
我们来
walk
北后。
on the illusory deviant path of Mali Beni Home.